So what's the point of today's comparison, Jacob?
Well, we pose this interesting question. Do we want rear-wheel drive automatic or front-wheel drive with a manual? I'm Jacob,
Yuri,
and we're going for a drive.
Honda Civic Si manual.
Toyota 86 GT automatic.
That has been a question that's been plaguing me for a while, but these cars are the exact same speed, and I think it's going to be a perfect comparison.
I'm not one of those like super manual people, like this everything has to be in manual, but there are certain cars that need to be in manual.
I think I'm one of those everything manual people.
Yeah, you definitely may be. We'll see. We're not going to give it away until the end.
So let's start with the horsepower and torque. The Honda Civic Si has 205 horsepower and 192 pound-feet of torque from a 1.5 liter four-cylinder.
And the Toyota 86 has 200 horsepower and 151 pound-feet of torque from a 2-liter Boxer four-cylinder, which is actually 5 less horsepower and torque than the manual version of this.
That's insane. And there is no automatic version of the Si, so we don't have to worry about that.
Yeah, good job on that one, Honda.
So to make sure this comparison is fair, what are the prices of the two cars?
The Civic Si is $28,990 Canadian, and the Toyota 86 is $34,460. However, the base price is $29,990, so very, very comparable.
But the base price comes with a manual.
Yes, it does.
So not comparable.
Yeah.
I mean, they're close. They're close. They're close.
They are close. It's actually a $1,200 option to get the automatic.
Blech.
Yeah, you have to pay more to get the automatic, not less.
And the next thing we need to know is which one is faster.
We have tested this before, so we know that these are basically exactly identical. It just kind of matters who gets the better launch.
And it's obviously easier to launch the automatic, but you get no wheel spin out of it.
Yeah, you do sometimes.
Oh yeah, if you start on like a dirt road.
Yeah, and we're both on winter tires as well.
And the Continental recommended tire for the Civic is the Conti Pro Contact.
And the Continental recommended tire for the Toyota 86 is the Extreme Contact DWS 06.
Okay, so let's start this comparison off with the looks. We both have blue looking cars. Which blue is better blue?
I think the Toyota 86 blue is better because it looks bluer and better in more lighting situations.
Yeah, I totally agree. But when this one hits the light perfectly, it's such a perfect Si blue. But yeah, I go with 86 blue for sure. But there's a new like acid yellow for the Civic Coupe.
Yeah.
Imagine that in this, then it would look way cooler.
That would be super cool.
The next thing these two little sports cars have in common is we've got little spoilers on the back. Now we got to find out which little spoiler is better little spoiler.
Yeah, I'm definitely a fan of the one on the 86. The one on the SI just looks a little bit too weird.
It's too big and it sticks out too much, which I like, but yeah, it's not the right spoiler.
It's too big in a bad way. Like a Type R, that's a good one, but this, no, it's just like on stilts.
So 86 wins this one.
Yeah, it does.
Headlights, taillights?
I think the BRZ also wins this, like both headlights and taillights.
I think taillights on the Civic because they go all the way around.
Oh, wait.
The cool version.
Did I call this the BRZ?
Yeah, that's okay. That was the same thing.
I keep calling this that, damn it.
Same thing, but some major differences, which we'll address at the end of the video. And then how about exhaust tips?
The exhaust tip's definitely on the 86.
Bro, we've got the HDMI cable.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm going Civic.
No, these are like real exhaust tips. I like it. So that's a wash.
Agree to disagree.
Yes. Which one sounds better? Yuri? Now for the 86, Yuri, hit it. '86 for the win. Do you like either of these wheels that much? Because they don't really stand out to me that much on either car.
Same.
Yeah.
But overall, I think looks-wise, the 86 definitely looks better.
Yeah, I agree. The 86 wins the looks for sure. It actually looks like a real sports car.
Because it can be a real sports car.
Yeah, in a different configuration.
So we're on our way to Cliche Corner. We'll be there in a few minutes, but first let's hit up the interior goodies. Which interior is better?
I think overall, sports car seating position-wise, the 86 for me. But as an amenities place that I actually like to enjoy sitting, I like the Civic.
Okay, let's hit it up with the comparos. Let's start with the Apple CarPlay and the Android Auto.
No way, let's start with a visor test.
Okay, 3, 2, 1.
Fail.
Ah, look at this.
All right, Civic wins the entire interior test. Next.
Now Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, the Civic has both.
The Toyota 86 has nothing.
Rewinding satellite radio stations. The Civic has rewinding satellite radio stations and tune mix.
The 86 GT, by the way, because that's the trim level, does not even have satellite radio.
It has AHA, which I don't even know what that is.
To be honest, I don't either. I've never used it, and I don't plan on ever using it.
Does the 86 have a place to put your phone?
Not really. There's a really bad cup holder, and there's actually a little slot to the left of it, which is too small for a phone, so no, that's a full fail on a place to put your phone.
Civic Si has a wireless charger and a little place to put your phone with cables that come out through the back.
Yeah, I noticed that. It's actually a little bit weird, but if you're gonna live in that car every day, you'll have it plugged in, it'll be just fine.
Next test. Both of these will fit a small cup of Tim Hortons coffee, I checked, but which one has the better cup holder / armrest area?
I think the Civic wins this one.
Yeah, because yours slides back and forth, but it has no armrest. This has an armrest that slides back and forth with cup holders that slide back and forth. And if you remember the G70 manual review, none of these armrests go higher than the shifter. Even though you don't have a real shifter, they made it look like a real shifter. Can we talk about that real quick? So they made an automatic shifter look like a manual shifter, and they made you like shift right and down to get into gear, so it's like you're actually wiggling a shifter. Like, if you're putting an automatic in a car that should be manual, make it like the crappiest looking, most normal automatic ever, please. Like, I don't want this save the manuals, like save the look of the manuals. I just want an actual manuals.
Yeah, but this is funny for the people that don't know how to drive manual. They still want like a sports car feel. Yeah. This looks like a manual transmission. So if you're gonna peek inside and through the windows really quickly, you might think it's manual.
And the worst part is they didn't even make it down for up for down shifting. It's up for up, down for down. But you do have paddles.
And the paddles are actually very good. And this transmission for an automatic is actually very good. It shifts very quickly, responds very quickly. I have no issues with this transmission as an automatic. I would always like it to be a little bit faster, but it's completely adequate.
Next thing, turn signal. If I do a half tap, I get a 3 blink. How about you?
The 86 does not. This is old school.
Yeah, it's old school like 1986. Get it? Because they didn't have that back then?
Good one.
Gauges. I have the coolest Honda digital gauges ever. We have our shift lights and everything. Big number, it's so clear. But you also have a really good gauge setup as well.
Yeah, so both of these cars have really good gauges, both in their own different ways. The 86 has a nice center tack. It's white, it's crystal clear. I really like this one. But in the Civic Si, I like those red shift lights so much more than the little red beep in this one.
Yeah, the thing about the 86 gauges is they'd be so perfect for driving manual.
Yes, they are.
Sunroof.
Yeah, I don't have one in the 86, which is actually a sports car thing.
I've got one.
Well, does that make this the real sports car then?
Not an automatic. Next thing, the trunk. We both have small little trunks, but I can fold the seats down from the back of mine. Can you?
I have no idea.
The answer is no.
However, Toyota made a point of being able to fit 4 tires and a jack in this one, so points for that.
And both of these cars luckily have touch to open and push to start, which is so convenient for this day and age.
I agree. That's like the best features you can have for convenience these days.
And now the last convenience feature, back seat usability. Civic is good. For me behind myself, it's fine. I could not sit behind myself in the 86.
At 6'1.5", I don't fit in anything, so I just try to make an entertaining show for you guys. Let's talk about these seats. I think they're both equally comfortable. They're both very well bolstered. I can't pick a favorite between them.
Yeah, they feel good when you're not moving, but once you're rolling, the Civic Si is like less bouncy, less rigid. So I think in my head, the Si seats feel better, but I do like the carbon fiber stitch pattern and Si on the seats. I think that's so awesome.
So wait, are you trying to incorporate the suspension of the car into your seat metrics?
Yeah, I think so. Like maybe they're getting away with a worse seat because they have better suspension. Softer suspension.
Interesting. We will get to the suspension and handling in a bit at Cliche Corner.
And then we both have heated seats.
Yeah, we do, and we both don't have heated steering wheels or cooled seats.
So overall, who wins for interiors and amenities?
I think at the end of the day, I'm more comfortable in the Civic for daily driving.
100% the Si, like no Apple CarPlay, no satellite radio, no backseat room.
However, if I was to go to a track day, I would want to be in the 86 because with a helmet on, I would actually fit in here, and I don't think I would in the Civic Si with a helmet on.
Because you're not 5'8.5".
So now we're gonna get into the details of rear wheel drive and automatic because that is the point of all this, and obviously comparing it to the front wheel drive turbo manual. I really want to try the rear wheel drive automatic at Cliche Corner though, so I think we should switch and then switch back again later.
Yeah, we gotta double chase each other and see who can keep up better.
All right, sounds good. Now I'm in the manual Honda Civic Si. The shifter is great. I'm having a great time. But I just want to say that I did own a rear-wheel drive automatic. It was a Lexus ISF, and I had an amazing time. I love that car. But horsepower makes a difference.
Yeah, I've also owned rear-wheel drive automatic cars. My very first car was a V6 1983 rear-wheel drive Camaro. And it was so slow, but it was my first car, and I painted it lime green, so it looked cool.
Does the 86 look cool enough to justify buying it in automatic?
It does not look cool enough to justify buying it in automatic. it looks cool enough to have it hand me down to you from your grandma 20 years from now who bought the automatic instead of the manual.
So it also does not have enough horsepower to justify being in rear-wheel drive automatic.
No, definitely not. But as a manual, perfect.
I do fully agree with you. However, that 86 is still a lot of fun, but I think you should just learn manual and get it in manual.
But there are cars that are automatic that justify lower horsepower. For example, the Plymouth Prowler. It looks so good, automatic isn't even an issue.
I'm going to pretend he didn't say Plymouth Prowler. I'm going to say the M2 competition, which we drove in automatic with the DCT. That was fantastic. Would have been better with a manual, but it was fantastic with that transmission.
Yeah, but that's high horsepower. The Prowler is low horsepower.
Yeah, I guess.
And for all those people who say, I want to get an automatic because of traffic, that SI has such a light clutch pedal, it's not even an issue to drive in rush hour traffic.
However, driving that 86 in traffic is completely normal because it's an automatic.
Yeah, normal, not fun. So back to those pedals. Heel and towing in the SI, how nice is it?
It's not that nice. I actually don't like it at all.
Really? This whole time I've been driving it, man, I was nailing the heel toe rev matches and stuff. Like, it's so perfect.
Yeah, we have different feet sizes. I have like size 13, so we have very different pedal preferences in some cars. This transmission in the Civic Si is fantastic. Honda makes some of the best manual transmissions, and this is definitely one of them. It's perfectly notchy, you know exactly what gear you're in, but this suffers from rev hang.
Yeah, and this automatic transmission, it shifts well, like you said, but the gears are so long that like nothing happens.
Yeah, that's a really good point. The gear ratios in that automatic are just so wrong for that car. If they tightened up first, second, and third, it would have been way better in that 86. So let's talk about power delivery. In the Honda Civic Si, there's definitely some turbo lag, but it's so fun.
Even though they're about the same speed, it always feels like you're going faster in the Si. In the 86, when I floor it, like, unless you're high up in the revs, not too much happens, and off the line, you really hit that flat spot so hard.
Yeah, and the funniest part about hitting that flat spot is you can still see it in the gauges just like you could in the BRZ.
And what really grinds my automatic gears, if I do a left turn with traction off, the back doesn't break loose.
I never really had that issue with that.
You got the back to break loose on fully dry.
Yeah.
Off a start.
Yeah.
No, you didn't.
I did.
Lies.
Nope.
Okay, even though the SI is very good at handling, it's got the LSD, this, when it gets out, it's a lot more fun, but you really got to be going to get it out.
You have to be driving that car at 9/10 to be able to have a lot of fun, especially with the automatic. And yours even has the LSD, so we both have LSDs. Do you have any sport modes or anything like that in the 86?
I've got sport mode, snow mode, I've got a traction button, and then I got an off traction button. And what I learned from the comments in the BRZ video, if you hold the left traction button, that turns everything off, where if you only click the off traction button, that kind of turns some stuff off, I think.
It actually says off track, not traction. Yeah, I actually found it slightly confusing in the 86. Like, which one do you want it to be really off in? Because there's off track with a friggin' race flag, and then there's off beside it. And then in the Civic Si, I can turn off traction very easily. There's one button and then a bunch of black switches. And then I also have sport mode. And with sport mode, it tightens everything up, and it actually makes a pretty big difference because this also has adaptive dampers, which the 86 does not.
To be honest, I didn't notice much from the dampers when I was driving normally on like highways or anything. Like hitting bumps, it felt the same. But I do like that in sport mode, you get more red lights on your gauge cluster.
That would be a thing you would notice.
All right, I think we should really settle all the handling and driving in Cliche Corner. Wait, what do we call this part before Cliche Corner? The S's?
And let's see what this limited slip differential can do. And it straight up pulls through like magic.
I'm in traction mode, and we'll see if the front wheel drive SI can keep up to the rear wheel drive one and see which one's more fun through the turns.
When you're in the upper RPMs, there's not that much turbo lag. Like, it's not bad. It's when you're in the lower RPMs, that's when you really feel it. So when you're in Cliche Corner fully sending it, this is great. This is such a well-sorted front wheel drive car. Like, really, really good. Up there with my favorites for front wheel drive for sure.
Ugh, paddle downshifts, so gross. Okay. It does kick out a nice amount. It is pretty loosey with the back end. I don't think the front wheel drive is going to be more fun through turns, but not being able to shift takes a lot of the fun out of it. To be honest, this was fun, but not shifting kind of sucked. But like, the rear wheel drive, this was good.
Yeah, but this is downshift and send and go. Like,
I
this
know.
is really good. Front wheel drive, it's really good.
We'll switch it and see if shifting is better than sideways.
All right, let's see. Okay, we've now switched cars, and I'm gonna go rear wheel drive full send. Man, the driving dynamics of this thing, like, this just feels like sports car, feels kind of like race car. It sounds a little bit more race car than the Civic Si as well. It's just, there's still something about it that I really do like.
Right away, hitting up the little S-turns before cliche corner, shifting your own gears, and using a clutch pedal is amazing. But it's the sidewaysness that really matters.
The rear-wheel driviness, still very playful, still very fun, but I don't think it has the crispness of that Civic Si. Like, that is just such a good transmission, such a good differential. Like, I think the differential and everything make that car better than the rear-wheel drive automatic 86. This is a very good car, but I still think I prefer that Honda.
Heel toe downshifting, I mean, okay, so I'm obviously not getting sideways at all. But I don't know. I really don't know. Let me think about it.
I have made up my mind, and it is the Civic Si in manual.
But how much fun was it getting the back end out a little bit?
Definitely fun, but not fun enough to justify it in automatic for this one. I'm sorry, I said I'm not one of those people, but this is one of those cars that needs to be in manual.
I had so much fun like heel toe downshifting into the corner though, so like at the end of the day, I don't think I could pick the automatic 86 over this.
Okay, so we're actually on the same page, but for you, it was actually closer than you thought and closer than I thought for you as well.
Yeah, it was way closer than I thought, but if I compared this Civic Si to a Subaru BRZ, manual transmission, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto, and rewinding satellite radio stations with tune mix, it would be hands down the BRZ.
Yeah, I think even if this was in manual, I would probably take this over the Civic Si, but there's just so many weird, dumb things about this that the BRZ even does better. It's like the reverse camera is a joke in here.
Yeah, it's in the mirror on the 86. Like, I don't know, man. Toyota's weird.
Which, by the way, my Raptor also has it, so I'm completely fine with it as much as I complain about it.
But for everyday driving on normal roads, the SI is way more fun than the automatic 86.
I think it's actually slightly more practical as well, just with all the features that it has, and the features actually work better.
But I think overall the SI wins this one just by a hair.
Yeah, okay, so we've settled that. That's it. That's our decision.
Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell.
Let us know which one you would pick. Check out patreon.com/TheStraightPipes and join our YouTube membership.
And then check out Teespring.
Yeah, look at this shirt. This is from Teespring.
I'm Yuri.
I'm Jacob.
And we're going for a drive. Subscription break. Don't forget to subscribe.
Subscribe right now. Subscribe. We didn't do that.